My first question to Gary really is just for you to give us, the audience, a little overview of Westbury and your role there.
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, Westbury Music is a music company, and I run the music supervision arm there. So essentially, it's overseeing the whole of the new music within any given project.
For you as a composer, what do you need to hear from a director or filmmaker in order to kind of produce your piece of music?
A lot of the actual process of writing the music really is about kind of tuning into what they like and how they hear music. Usually I'll write lots of ideas early on in the process, and then as the editing progresses, some ideas will be rejected by the director, some ideas stay, and you might have just a tiny little idea that you can then develop into a theme that might sort of run through a whole film, or it might be lots of different themes. It totally depends.
One of the things I wanted to touch on briefly was licensing and publishing your music.
Some things the band own already, which is fine, but they were signed to EMI, so we're currently sorting out the clearance for the master. You have master rights, which is actually what you hear. It was on the record or what we recorded live. And then you have the publishing, which is copyright of the song. So you have to clear both of those, and that can be anything. Some people give it to you for free, or some people charge whatever. There's no sort of set way of doing it. It helps if you know a few people and you can pull in some favours.
So what was your kind of route to Sony ATV?
Whilst we've sort of taken a very similar route to get where we are, there's a lot to be said for just interning and just doing favours for people. And if you want to be a composer, just find someone that likes filming stuff and write music for that. It's there's a sort of same amount of people in the business who have just been doing favours and sort of that sort of route in. You don't need to go to get a degree or do anything like that.
When we're talking about personal relationships and communications, quite often artists that come to your A&R directors are via a friend of a friend of a friend. So maybe it's not always about kind of having a manager or having a label behind you, but if you've got friends that are your peers and they're also writing, they're also performing, they've also got a friend who's interning at the local radio station, it kind of builds up that connection and that network. So those relationships are also important to nurture as you're moving through.